As I look back over my life, I wish I could say it was a full life, but it was not. It was a filled life. When we were first married, we decided we wanted a big family. We were both from big families. So we had our daughter, just decided, oh, we're going to have a baby, and we did, and everything was fine. And that was wonderful. And then the 5 miscarriages came along. And I thought, where is Jesus? If there's a Jesus that my wife was always telling me about. Then the same thing happened when my wife passed away. And we knew she was going to die. And she looked at me and she said, I'm going to see Jesus. I was angry. I was mad. Where was Jesus? Here she is. My wife probably has never done anything wrong in her entire life, and he didn't save her. And I thought, what kind of Jesus is that? So I always think of when she died with such peace. A week later, I was back at work, fighting and going and doing and not happy, but a filled up life. My name is Jim, and this is my testimony. I was never against religion. I was never against faith. But I didn't really believe. I have 2 friends in my life, Debbie and Dave. Debbie and I worked together, and Dave would come in to visit sometimes, and we became good friends, all of us. Debbie invited me to go to church for 11 years. She would call and she would say, don't you want to meet us at church? It got irritating sometimes, but I really liked Debbie.
I invited him every Christmas because the Christmas service is just so, universal. And he denied 10 times. When we came to church here, I tried, what the heck, I'm going to try it again. Christmas
Eve day, she called me and said, why don't you come to church tonight? For some reason, I said yes. And I still don't know why. I don't think Debbie really believed me that I would be there, but I did go, yes. I walked into church on Christmas Eve, and I immediately felt something. I think, in my old age, I can spot phoniness a mile away, and it was for real. And I thought, well, that's a good way to start. I felt a sense of peace as I sat there. I don't know, I had peace in my life, and I think it had to do with believing in Jesus, believing that there's more to life than this, whatever it is we're going through right now. I was convinced, but I always felt I needed to do more. So I started to go and help set up. And what I liked about it is that there was a spirit of Jesus. And then there were always people like Connor who looked out for me so I didn't kill myself pulling stuff off the truck and all that kind of thing. And then my friend Robert, who asked me to be part of the parking lot team, which I was glad to do, but that helped make me feel part of it.
My buddy right here, my parking buddy. Yeah, Jim is my bud. He's like one of my best friends. We do stuff outside of church. We've been to carnivals together. We go to restaurants together. He's meant so much to not only the church, but to me.
So how important is that? To me, it's important. I feel like here I am, part of the church, part of the team, Robert's bud. What could be better? I mean that. After going to church for a few months, I started to feel like something was happening within me. And also, there needed to be more affirmation of what I was doing. I needed to declare myself a little better. So Jeremy and I went to lunch. And at that time in the church, I think we do it a little differently now, but when we say a prayer, if you're ready to accept Jesus, and you would raise your hand while we were praying. And I had raised my hand the week before, and I said that to Jeremy. He said, well, then you're all ready to be baptized. And I was sort of like, oh, I hadn't really thought about that. I thought, well, how am I going to get out of this one? And I wanted to do it, but I was embarrassed to do it. And I was embarrassed because here's this 80-year-old guy coming in. So what's he doing now? Is he afraid he's going to die and he wants to be sure he's baptized and be sure that he goes to heaven? But that wasn't true. After I thought about it, I thought, I do want to do it. All of a sudden, I understood the reason for that kind of baptism. The feeling of your mind being cleansed of a lot of things. Life after baptism has brought peace to me. I've always been a warrior. I had no place to put it. But today, I find peace in that I let it go. I turn it over. I asked Jesus to help me through it. And I find peace for the first time, I think.
I look at Jesus and the thief on the cross. It was not too late for him. How could it be too late for anybody?
I'm 80 years old. I did not expect to feel the way I feel. I never imagined it. It's a good thing. I'm not here to tell you everything works and my life is perfect, but I'm a different person than I was. There's an old saying that Jesus is always knocking at our hearts. Maybe you should let him in.